Have you ever enjoyed a Hershey's chocolate bar and wondered about the history behind it? Well, buckle up because we have an unbelievable truth about the Hershey Chocolate Empire. From humble beginnings and poverty to bankruptcy and finally success, Milton Hershey's story is full of ups and downs. Find out how he persevered through the obstacles to become the founder of the biggest chocolate producer in the world. You won't believe what he had to overcome to achieve his dreams. Stick around until the end to learn about the secrets behind Hershey's success. In 1857, Milton Hershey was born into an abject poverty in Pennsylvania's Derry Township. His father's failed business ventures left his parents, Henry and Fanny Hershey, struggling to make ends meet. The family fell into abject poverty as a result of Henry's obsession with oil prospecting, and it wasn't until Fanny's brother got involved that they were able to obtain a farm in Lancaster to live on. However, Henry eventually left the family, leaving Milton and his mother to work to sell eggs and make ends meet. The death of Serena, Milton's younger sister, from scarlet fever at the age of 4 brought tragedy to the Hershey family. This incident proved to be a turning point in Milton's life because he was inspired to improve his situation and that of his mother. At the age of 10, he quit school and started on his path to success. Milton got his first job as an apprentice for a local printer when he was 14 years old, but he hated the job and was eventually fired for purposely damaging one of the machines. After numerous failed attempts to open a profitable candy shop, Milton moved back to his hometown and asked his uncles for a loan to launch a new company, but he was rejected, called names, and expelled from the residence. Milton persisted in the face of these obstacles and eventually founded the biggest chocolate producer in the world. At a time when chocolate was regarded as a luxury for the wealthy, he made it affordable for the general public. Milton Hershey became the public face of the chocolate business thanks to his tenacity and drive. Milton Hershey's mother agreed with his choice to quit his printing job and look for a position that would better suit his future goals. She and her sister Maddie assisted Hershey in obtaining employment at the Lancaster candy shop run by Joseph Royer. Hershey's initial responsibilities included cleaning the tables, taking orders at the counter, and delivering ice cream and other treats to customers' homes. Hershey's mother insisted that he learn the trade of making candy because it was the store's most lucrative and durable item. She even offered to pay the owner personally for this. Finally, the owner consented to release Hershey from his other responsibilities and allow him to train only in candy production. Hershey worked at the confectionery for the following 4 years, gaining experience and confidence in the candy industry despite his father's disapproval of candy making as a woman's job. At the age of 19, Hershey was able to launch his own business with the help of his mother, aunt, and uncles. In Philadelphia's Spring Garden Street, which was close to the site of the upcoming 1876 World's Fair, he made the decision to open his first confectionery shop. Hershey's store sold a wide range of sweets, ice cream, fruits, and nuts. He even installed an air show to spread the aroma of his sweet outside, luring customers inside. Hershey had to rent a large space for his shop as his business started to take off. When the trade fair came to an end, things changed drastically. His candy sales failed and the Long Depression began. Hershey was able to survive by offering his candies to other stores at a discount, but when sugar became too expensive, a new issue emerged, making it difficult for his shop to turn a profit. Over the course of the following 5 years, Hershey worked so hard and required loans from his uncles that he eventually fell ill and was bedridden. Finally, his uncles gave him the go-ahead to close his business and make do with what he could. Hershey lost both his family's trust and his business at the age of 24, and he was left with no choice but to file for bankruptcy. To get there, though, he had to endure many ups and downs. Hershey's father had invited him to go silver prospecting with him in Leadville, Colorado in 1881. Upon arrival, Hershey discovered that all the silver had already been taken, so he found work at the candy store in Denver. There, he learned how to make fresh milk, vanilla, and sugar caramels, which he eventually perfected after a year of practice. Hershey went to New York City, one of the most competitive cities in America, determined to launch his own company. While his uncles turned down his request for a new loan, his Aunt Maddie took a chance and gave him the money he needed to open a second shop. Prior to opening his candy shop, he began working at Heidler's. He then began selling his Denver-style caramels, which quickly gained popularity among New Yorkers. However, his decision to sell cough drops challenged an established brand in the city, Smith Brother Cough Drops, and his business began to struggle. Hershey eventually declared bankruptcy in 1886, but he never gave up. He made the decision to only make caramels, and he put a lot of effort into perfecting his recipe. He stuck with it, and his caramel eventually became a huge hit. If you're interested in building wealth, you might want to check out Public, an investment platform that helps people become better investors. Blue chip NFTs are among the many stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies that Public offers. With Public, you can have a diversified, balanced portfolio and get daily insights and ideas for millions of active investors on the app. At the age of 24, Hershey was left with no choice but to file for bankruptcy, having lost only his business, but also his family's trust. However, his journey to this point had been full of ups and downs. In 1881, Hershey's father invited him to join Colorado to explore the silver rush, but when they arrived to find that all the silver was gone. Hershey found work at a candy store in Denver which specialized in using fresh milk, vanilla, and sugar instead of paraffin to make caramels, resulting in a sweet, smooth, and soft candy with a longer shelf life. Hershey worked at the store for a year, mastering the process before moving on to open his own shop in New York City. Despite facing rejection from his uncles, Hershey was loaned money by his aunt to set up his second shop. He quickly made a name for himself by offering his Denver-style caramels, which proved to be a hit with New Yorkers. However, his decision to sell cough drops put him in competition with the established brand Smith Brothers Cough Drops, which led to the decline of his business and ultimately led to bankruptcy in 1886. Hershey didn't lose hope and decided to focus on one thing: caramels. If you enjoy stories about building your wealth, you might be interested in investment platform Public, which offers thousands of stocks, ETFs, and more than 30 cryptocurrencies including Bitcoin, Cardano, and Ethereum. They will soon be adding blue chip NFTs, making it the only platform offering all these alternative assets in one place. Public also have a thriving investing community where you can get daily insights and ideas from millions of active investors, including top experts, to help you make better investment decisions and build a smarter portfolio. Milton Hershey was in his 30s and had more free time after establishing a strong team to handle production. During a visit to the Columbian Exposition in Chicago, he saw J.M. Lehman's demonstration of chocolate rolling machinery from Germany, which inspired him to mass-produce chocolate. Hershey purchased Lehman's equipment and began experimenting with making sweet chocolate, baking chocolate, and other cocoa products. He used his formula of fresh milk and added more varieties of sweets to his line of products, eventually having over 100 different items to offer. Hershey noticed that chocolate sales were beginning to surpass his caramel business, and soon he made this risky decision to sell his caramel business and devote his focus solely to chocolate. He sold his business for $1 million and immediately began constructing a massive factory with high-tech machinery for his new company. He even instructed some of his employees to work for his competitors to learn their methods. Hershey faced political corruption in Lancaster and decided to move away, purchasing 1,200 acres of empty farmland in Derry Church to create a new town for himself and his workers. As construction on his 6-acre factory began, Hershey and his team struggled to mass-produce milk chocolate. He hired a former employee, Johnny Schmalbach, who developed a process of warming and condensing milk without burning it, allowing for the creation of mild-tasting milk chocolate that could be stored for months without spoiling. The process enabled Hershey to mass-produce chocolate bars at a lower cost of 5 cents each, making them affordable to the masses and widely available in stores across the country by 1906. What a journey it has been exploring the unbelievable truth about the history of the Hershey Chocolate Empire, from Milton Hershey's humble beginnings and the obstacles he faced to become the public face of the chocolate business, to the ups and downs of his entrepreneurial ventures. It's clear that Hershey's success was not overnight. Through his perseverance, Milton Hershey created a chocolate empire that would not only provide affordable chocolate to the masses, but also create opportunities for his workers and philanthropic initiatives. Hershey's legacy lives on to this day, with the Hershey Company still producing some of the most beloved chocolates worldwide. It's a true testament to the power of persistence and determination in the face of adversity. We hope you enjoyed learning about the remarkable story of the Hershey Chocolate Empire and how one man's perseverance and hard work can create a lasting project. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.